right, so I can't remember the order of these questions, but let me start with I think one of the ones I remembered receiving. A lady sent in a question and she said that she's she's been with her guy for over a year. She's been living with him for over a year, or they've been living together for over a year. And when the relationship started, he promised her it was going to be for marriage, because he's not a small boy, and he's got his life going, and he's at this point in his life where all he just needs is to see a lady who's serious and he's ready to settle down with her. And I mean, that's just all he wants right now. He just wants to get married. So when he saw the lady, he believed, yeah, this is the one I've been waiting for. You are the one I've been looking for, And then, yeah, they go into the relationship. Well, I don't have the details of what point, if the relationship is 1 year plus old, or if they've just been living together for over a year. But then she says every time she brings up the conversation about marriage now, Baba gets angry. And there was something else she mentioned. Okay, he doesn't even talk about marriage at all. And then when she tries to bring it up, he gets angry, he flares up. All right, so she's a bit confused and wondering if she's already in too deep. I can't remember, but that was the context of the question. I don't know why my system is not loading. Okay, so that was the issue. And first of all, let me say this. The guy is not, he's no longer in a hurry to get married. Because he is already, because you have made yourself a wife without allowing the official processes to happen. He needed the services of a wife. You, the lady, needed security and companionship. And you thought you were going to get that by donating wife services already. I don't know to what extent you've gone, but if you're living in a house with someone with whom you want to get married, I take it every other thing is happening, So he's already got what he wants. That's the truth, and he's gotten it without the burden of commitment. So he's fine. That's why he doesn't want to talk about it again, because he already has it. If a lady is living in your house, taking care of your domestic needs and your emotional needs, and she's gladly doing it for free, so that's why he's no longer interested. He was in a hurry before. Maybe there was nobody to help him take care of his emotional and personal needs. And then you showed up and he's grateful that you're there. Okay, that's why he doesn't want to get married. I hope you understand what I'm saying. We say repeatedly, we say time and time again that you don't donate wife services as a girlfriend. You don't do that. Okay, you don't give wife services to someone you're not married to. So if you're already living in his house and you've been doing this for over a year, little wonder he's no longer talking about marriage, because he is married already. He gets everything. He gets all the perks of marriage. Okay? And again, because sometimes when I see some of these things, it looks like one is beginning to sound like a broken record, but I take it that there are people who hear some of these things for the first time. So even if I've said it 1,000 times before, I keep saying it again and again and again. All right? Please don't give wife services while you're still a girlfriend. All right, if you're still a girlfriend, then be a girlfriend, but don't deliver wife services. So in the case of the lady who is saying that, hey, they've been living together over a year and he's no longer talking about marriage, yes, he won't talk about marriage because he's enjoying all the benefits of being married to you. Okay, so if you really want him to reopen that conversation, I think the first thing you need to do is to pack your things and go and pay your rent. Go to your house. Maybe the rent is even running somewhere. You just abandoned it. Go to your house. Yeah, pack your things and go to your house. When you show him readiness, he will up his game. Now you see, there's something that ladies need to know. Guys treat you at the level of your permission. Let me say it again. Guys treat you at the level of your permission. In other words, it is what they see that you accept that they continually extend towards you. All right. If If a guy sees that this lady knows her standards and does not accept rubbish, he will up his game if he really wants her. But if he sees that she doesn't even have a stand, she's just so excited that he's in her life and all that, yeah, he would treat you exactly the way you allow yourself to be treated. Is how a guy will treat you. Okay, so if you have presented yourself to him as finally, so somebody says he loves me, let me do all I can to please him. Finally, I've seen my helper, my soulmate, my husband, the one that I shall marry, and then you just deliver yourself to him like you no longer have a life. You have already given yourself to him, so don't be surprised when he's treating you in a particular kind of way. So what am I saying? You have to get back your standards if you still remember where you kept them. All right, you need to get your standards back and leave that place, leave that relationship, put an end to it, because you are setting yourself up for more and more and more emotional abuse and heartbreak. Okay, I don't know how far you guys have gone, but I think you need to get yourself out. That's what you owe that to yourself, to get yourself out of that. Take responsibility for your mistakes and the things you have done. All right, take responsibility for that, but it's about time you bounced. All right, because clearly you have seen now that he's no longer interested in talking relationship with you. Okay, and talking marriage rather with you. All right, so yeah, it might be hurtful, but I think the right thing is to step back. All right, no matter how long you have made a mistake, don't be ashamed to have a new start. So please leave him alone and let him prove that he really wants you in his life by going to make it official. All right, I hope somebody understands that. Okay, so and again, don't deliver. I can't overemphasize this point. Don't deliver wife services. All right, when you're not a wife, don't. I can't overemphasize it. All right, if somebody wants to sleep with you so badly, and you say if you want to sleep with him so badly, you guys let the wedding happen very quickly. Very quickly. Yeah, get married immediately if both of you can't coordinate yourselves. All right, get married very quickly. Yeah, do your counseling, get married. It doesn't have to be a big one. Go to court, get a few witnesses, and then you guys get married and you can do everything you want to do. But then you guys haven't made the official commitment of marriage, but you're gladly sleeping with each other, and you don't know that you're actually setting yourselves up for emotional injuries. A lot of it. All right. So please, I still maintain, all right, keep sex away from the relationship. Keep it away. Yeah, you will have a lot of it when you're married and you'll be tired. That is the truth. You have a lot of it and you will be tired. You wait and say your body be machine. Sometimes you will say, I don't want, I'm not in the mood. Guy and girl alike. Do you understand? You will see your partner naked and nothing will move in your body. Okay? Yeah, it happens when you're married. Okay? So, be patient enough. All right, be patient enough, because there are other weightier matters that you will face when you eventually get married. Okay, let me not go ahead of myself. I think there are a few other questions I will talk to. Meanwhile, if anybody here has a question, feel free to request to come in the live with me, or drop it use the question mark icon to drop it in the chat so that we can take it together. All right. Thank you, Mary. Thank you. Oh, boy, Mary. Oh. Thank you for blessing me. Amen. Amen to the blessing, and God bless you too. Okay, so I think I've said enough there. Hey, Eddie, it's good to see you. You're welcome. Boss, it's good to see you, man. All right, so let me take the next question. I'm seeing somebody trying to get in the live. Let me see who that is. Ame, are you really trying to get in, or was it okay? I don't think he really wanted to join the live. Okay, so yeah, bring in your questions. All right, we've spoken about narcissism last 2 months. We spoke about abusive relationships throughout this month. Last month narcissism, and then this month we spoke about abusive relationships. Today is for Q&A, like you know. So bring in your questions. Type them in the section for questions, so that we can all see it and we can talk about them. We can ask. We can treat the questions. All right. Yeah, brother. God bless, man. So good to see you. So good to see you. It's been a while. Okay, I'm still waiting for my other questions to load. I don't know what happened to my system, but it will come around. Okay, so let me try and remember another question that came in. Um, so yeah, there was this one. There was one where the guy was actually saying that his girlfriend was the abusive person. Um, that he is cool, but his girlfriend is abusive. And before I remember, oh yes, Boku is making a comment there. Yeah, definitely. The guy will get angry if you're trying to leave, but you have to do what you have to do. Okay. Yeah, living with him in the first place was the wrong move. Yeah, yeah, it's risky. It's a risky thing to do, and you did it, so you're suffering the consequences. Okay, now about abuse. Yeah, many times when we speak about relationship abuse, people think it's only guys that are abusive. People think it's only guys who are narcissists. You know, I've said again and again that even ladies can be very abusive, you know, but their own. People don't realize that what they're actually going through is abuse in the hands of their girlfriends or their wives many times. Okay. But you will agree with me that the people who tend to have the real manipulative skills sometimes are the ladies. I'm sure somebody will say yeah to that. I'm sure, yeah. Okay, because I mean, you say one thing and they take it out of context and out of meaning and they twist it and bring it back to you and you're wondering where did you get that from. You know, I'll come back to this point of mine in a bit. Let me take the comment from Amoke. Your boyfriend stopped calling you and you've been the one calling. Should you stop or you should keep calling? So first of all, I would ask you, what kind of relationship are you guys in? Is marriage the center of this relationship? Is marriage the purpose of it? All right. But if you guys are just dating or you're just seeing how it goes, I actually tell people that I don't do general relationship advice. All right. I don't waste wisdom. I got wisdom at a price and I put a very high premium on wisdom. So I don't waste it. I don't advise people who are not ready for life. Okay. If it's just dating, sincerely, that's what I'm saying now. I don't for me, I don't know what dating is. I don't talk about it. You hardly hear me talk dating. If I use it in just contemporary terms. For me, I talk relationships. That's what you hear me say. And I always emphasize that relationships must be for the purpose of marriage. Must be for the purpose of marriage. It is easier to put things in context. When you do just dating, you expose yourself to a lot of unnecessary emotional drama. So for this question, really, I'm sorry, but like I say, I don't do general random relationship advice. Okay. Your boyfriend is not calling you. Should you call him? I don't know. If he's not calling you, I tell you he's not serious. Okay. I mean, that would be like a biased answer because I don't have all the details, but I just take it that for this level of relationship, I don't advise because if you want to get my advice, let your relationship be aimed towards marriage. So maybe I will tell you to quit the relationship because I don't think it has head. I'm sorry, that was harsh, right? Yeah, that's what I'll just tell you. I don't know what you guys are doing in the relationship. If it's just dating, then I don't know what that is. But if marriage is in view, then I'll ask more questions and then we'll probe a lot more. But you know, because I don't have the details of why he stopped calling, what your relationship is like, how long you guys have been in the relationship, was there a quarrel, did you do something he's been wanting you to stop doing and you continue doing it and he's tired, is he trying to leave you? I don't know. All right, so when it's just dating, there are certain principles that I uphold that I might not be able to enforce with you. But if it's a relationship geared towards marriage, then I will probe further and say some more direct things. All right. So I'm okay. I hope you don't mind. What I would rather advise is, first of all, let your relationship be geared towards marriage. If it's not geared towards marriage, please end it. End it. You're setting yourself up for heartbreak. Yes. Even if you will get married eventually, but you would have picked up a lot of baggage, a lot of hurts that you don't need. Almost all the people I know who have complications in their relationship or in their marriage, many of those complications came from unnecessary relationships they have had in their past. Why do I call it unnecessary? Because you were not going to marry this person, or you knew that marriage was not necessarily the purpose of it. You were just in the relationship because you wanted to have a boyfriend, or you wanted to have a girlfriend, or you just wanted to be among those that say, me too, I'm in a relationship. All right. So you start gathering experiences that can be hurtful and that will be hurtful to you. One person treats you like that. You leave that relationship unhealed. Okay, you're still treating the hurt of that relationship, and then you find another person you think is going to be better. You haven't become better either. You haven't added knowledge, and then you move yourself to that new relationship thinking the other person was just a terrible guy. All right, now you're with the new person, and it takes its own his own dynamics are playing out, and the story just goes on and on and on, and you're just picking unnecessary experiences. I call them unnecessary. All right. So please, first thing I'll say is, let your relationship be about marriage. If it's not, then maybe you should leave and take some time to self-reflect and not even be in a relationship till you're ready to get married. All right. So let me stop there. There's another question in the house. At what point do you allow a guy to come to see you in the house? Especially if the friendship is not defined. Thank you. Very good question. Very good question. So this is what I tell people. This is what I tell people. You see your house, Your house is not market. Your house is not common room. Your house is your hideout. That's your last bus stop. That's your personal space. That's where, if everywhere they spoil, where do you run to finally? It's your house. So your house is not where you bring people to. Qualify the kind of people that should know where you stay. Qualify it. It should not be, not everybody here did. Yeah. Qualify the kind of people that should know where you stay. All right. And personally, I operate that policy. If you know my house and you show up uninvited, I'll send you out. I won't even allow you in. No, I won't. I'll send you out. It happened a lot when I was in school. People come to my room. I just say I should check what out. I'm not expecting you. No, not come. All right. Better still, you call me and let me know you want to see me. We agree on when you're going to come, and then you show up. So back to the question: at what point do you allow a guy come to your house? The question is, come to your house for what? Come to your house for what exactly? Just to visit you. You guys visit somewhere else, especially when it's not even a relationship, like you said. It's not yet defined. You guys are just cool, right? Don't come to my house. I don't know you. Don't come to my house. We'll see in church. We'll see in Mr. Biggs. Oh, there's no Mr. Biggs again. I'm sounding like old school. We'll see in an eatery. We'll see in the park. We'll see by the beach, We'll see somewhere else, but not my house. Okay, so for me, I just think your house should be your safe zone. Don't bring just anybody there. No. Neither should you go visiting him in his house. Because at this point of the friendship, right, the principle is you are still observing this person and you're trying to avoid unnecessary private situations that might not be safe for you. And when we speak safety, it's not just about emotional safety. It's also about physical safety. You don't yet know the kind of person this person is. I mean, how many times do you hear of people using their girlfriends or supposed girlfriends for rituals, or people attacking or kidnapping people who are supposed to be their girlfriends, or people who they were supposed to be dating and stuff like that? How many times do you hear of those things happening? So it's not just about emotional security. It's not just about, I don't want somebody to sleep with me. It's not just about that. Okay, it's also about your physical security. Okay, so if you don't know this person, he has no business coming to your house. You have no business going to his house. You guys see in public places. People don't know that. You see, when we say someone this kind of thing, it's like, come on, are you living in the real world? Come on, cut yourself some slack. Listen, it is principles and instructions that preserve you on the path of life. Let me say it again. Principles and instructions preserve you on the path of life. All right? So you must be a principled person if you're going somewhere in your life. That's the truth. You must be a person of principle. You just can't be living your life without principles. So your house, it's your hideout. It's your last bus stop. Not just anybody should know your house. Nope. Not just anybody should know your house. I know someone, her address will never appear anywhere. There, nowhere, unless it's an international serious document or something like that, but it will not appear anywhere. At best, you will get an idea of the location, or at best, there's another alternate address where mails and shipments can go to, but not her own address. All right. There are reasons people get this principle about their personal space. So I don't support somebody who you're not necessarily friends with, or you're not necessarily even in a relationship coming over to your house. The question is to come and do what? What are you coming to do in the house that can be done elsewhere? All right. But if you want to add more context to the question, please feel free to put it in there. Let me take another question from Ame. If you're in a relationship with a lady and the lady is getting advice from her sibling too much, what can you do? Yes, this is a very good question. I like that. Yeah. But what you mean by too much? We may need to understand the context of too much. But yeah, I get the point. Now, ladies do this more than guys do. Ladies, from the day they're tripping for you, they can start talking to that sibling, that best friend, and they're telling them everything about what's going on between you two, and these friends start sharing advice. No way, I cannot accept that. What kind of guy is it? And they just start offering both solicited and unsolicited advice. Okay. So what can you do about it? If you're uncomfortable with the advice, especially if the advice that she's getting are detrimental to the relationship, it's making things more difficult for you, it's making things more complex for you, it's confusing your girl, you can let her know what your reservations are. You might let her know that you think that all this advice that her friends or her sisters are giving her, now you don't think it is good for you people, you don't like it, and you share your reasons with her. Okay. Share your reasons with her, but also be open to hear what she's saying. Be open to hear what her reasons are, what her concerns are. Unfortunately, many times the people giving these advice are not even in a relationship or are not married, but they are the ones that advise people about marriage. They are the ones that advise people about relationship. You see? So many times they don't really know what they're saying, unfortunately. But then, if they are the closest voices in that your girlfriend's circle, then it means that she listens to them and she pays attention to what they say. So if you're not comfortable with the kind of advice they're giving her, then share your reasons with her. All right? Share your reasons with her and share why your own opinion is superior to what they are saying. Right? Now, but if she upholds their own position always above yours, then maybe that is not the kind of person you want to be in a relationship with. Okay, maybe you want to tell her it's not working, and then you look for somebody who at least can trust you enough to listen to you, to have you be the leader in the home. Okay, now I'm saying that because if she's not listening to you now that you guys are in a relationship, she won't listen to you when you guys get married. It's still those same people that will run the home for you guys. And that is very disastrous. I know a number of relationships and even marriages that have ended on the basis of involvement of third parties, family members, parents, siblings, best friends, besties, offering advice that is detrimental to the success of that marriage. Okay, so if you're uncomfortable with the advice she's getting from them, like I said, have conversations around it. Okay, not angry conversations. So seek to understand why she thinks that they are wiser than you. All right, seek to understand why she would rather take their opinion over what you're sharing. Seek to make her understand why your opinion is superior to theirs, if it is. All right. In all of these, you're trying to win her trust. You're trying to win her confidence, because that's another thing. Ladies try to be very careful before they typically get into a relationship. Reasonable ladies, let me qualify that, because people jump into a relationship anyhow these days. Reasonable ladies try to be careful about who they're getting into a relationship with. So they ask a lot of questions, and they're talking to their peers, they're talking with their friends or family members or big sister. There's this boy around, or this is what he said, or in fact, this is what the guy is doing, or this is what my guy is saying, or this is what my guy is doing, because they want that security. They want to always be sure that they're in the right place, they're doing the right thing, they are guarding their space, So do what you can within your own bit to make her trust you, to make her have confidence in you, to make her see your leadership as something she can submit to willingly. All right. Once you can do that, then you discover that instead of talking or getting advice from those people, she'll be resorting to you mostly for all her advice, because she has come to believe in you, she has come to see value in you, and she has come to respect the maturity and wisdom in your decisions. Okay, so Ame, I hope that has answered it for you. Is that good enough for you? All right, yeah. So I just remembered another question that came in the course of the week. For whatever reason, it's still not loaded on my system, so we'll flow. Okay, yeah. So the other question was about a lady who said that there's this guy who's very serious with her. He said he wants to get married to her, and yeah, she kind of likes him, but there's only one thing that she's confused about. She says the guy is zero romantic. So she's afraid that if she gets married to him, she's going to have a very boring life, because this guy is not romantic. All right. Different things are coming to my mind to say about this, but let me be nice to you. So let me tell you another truth I have seen among young people. One, a lot of people have unrealistic expectations about marriage. That's one. Two, it's still on one. Such people, they're in a world of fantasy. Maybe from too much movies or concepts or dramas or books or novels or telenovelas, or musicals. They just have this idea of what their boyfriend should be doing. He should wake you up with a poem. He should sing you a song. He should send you a flower. All these nice, wonderful things that you imagine in your head. See, men love differently from women. Let me put it this way. Men express love differently. Some of these things you want are things that your man can catch up with over time. All right? Those are not the immediate things that show that a man really is in love with you. He will catch up with some of those behaviors with time. All right? So when you say he's not romantic, he's zero romantic, what exactly is your own definition or expectation about being romantic? What exactly is your own expectation? You have to check what your expectations are. Where did you even get those expectations from? Perhaps some guy boy have confused you with so-called being romantic and destroyed your life at some point, and you had to put it. And now you have seen somebody who does not know how to do all of those things that guy man was doing, but he's serious. So let me ask you, beyond somebody not being or being unromantic, what are the other qualities that you have seen in him? Does he have leadership? Is he decisive? What are the patterns in his life? What are the products of his decisions that you have seen so far? How does he treat people? Does he have character? Does he have the love of God in his heart? Does he revere God? Do you understand? Those are the things you should be looking out for, baby. I don't know what you're saying by romantic. I don't really know what you're saying. Does he have all of these other things I've said? Is he disciplined? Does he respect you? All right? Those are the things you look out for. If he has all of those and he's not sending you flowers or sending you poems or calling you at this particular time of the day and doing that nice thing, or please, he can pick up those things later. I have seen a lot of people miss good guys because they say he's too churchy, or he's a pastor, or he's a good boy, he's boring. You see, I've seen people miss some really good guys because they were looking for the things that are more or less superficial, things that are not the main thing. Those are the things that they have made their own main thing, and at the end of the day, they go for guys who have all of that outward show, or all of that frivolity. That's what I would call it, and at the end of the day, these people lack character. These people don't have plans for their life. These people are just after the gram and after what is reigning. And you just see men who behave like boys, children, You see, I see a lot of them, around, and they're wondering, hey, and this one has girlfriend now. Do you understand? Big boy is any money or is living a life, but talks like a child, behaves like a child, selfish, self-centered, can't take decisions, indisciplined. You just see these things and you're wondering, somebody will come and marry this one like this. So, do you understand? So please, lady that is looking for romantic, if you have a good man, please marry him. Along the line, he will learn some of those things that you want him to be doing. He will learn. A man who loves a woman will do anything to let her know he loves her, including learning the things that are important to her. I need to say this, all right? Including learning the things that are important to her. So if those gestures you consider romantic are important to you, teach them to him and he will catch up, all right? He will catch up. Like I tell people, marriage is for life. Certain things you want your partner to be doing, they will pick it up 5 years' time. Certain things they will pick up 10 years' time. Do you understand? Certain things they will pick up 1.5 years. It's not immediate. Do you understand? So be patient enough with the person you're in a relationship with, especially when the main qualities you're looking for, or when the main qualities that matter in a home are found in that person. Stick with him. All right. So until there is looking for romantic, please, let's check your expectations again. Rather than looking out for romantic, look for the qualities that really matter, that will stand the test of time. In fact, let me put it this way. Do you want unromantic but peaceful and progressive? Or do you want romantic and problematic? Choose what you want. All right. I'm not saying that you cannot get romantic that is also peaceful and progressive, but I'm saying that putting being romantic as the first thing is a wrong move by all means. It's a wrong thing to do. You don't put that first. You put that last, not first. All right. So let me take a few comments from the comment section. Antonio Perez says that's how to end up marrying Babalao. All right. So back to that one about a guy coming to your house. Okay, just to add to context. So you've been talking though, but he's yet to define the friendship. He said he's looking to come to your place when he comes. Okay, he's not in the country. All right, he's looking to come to your place when he comes in September. He's based in London. You just take the advice anyway, because okay. Yeah, I've told you before that he's not serious and you don't want to welcome people. Yeah, please, your house is, like I tell you, it's your hideout, it's your last bus stop. All right. He's not in the country. Anytime he comes around, there are very many places you people can visit. In fact, very many places, not your house. Not your house. Many places you guys can go to. Not your house, not his hotel room, not his house. All right? Yeah, so please. Thank you. I didn't know it was the guy we even spoke about before, right? Yeah. Okay. Any other question coming in? What time do I have? Okay, I have a few minutes left. Sincerely, I don't know what my system has decided to do to me today. I will fix it. Ooh, someone says Korean movies and Z-World are not for Nigerian guys. Hey, Mr. Romantic. See, people need to know what to look out for in a partner. And I've said this again and again. I mean, I've had sessions where I talked about this, okay? Look out for matters of spirit and soul. Put them above matters of body and externalities. All right? The question just came in. I'll talk to you just now. Okay? Look out for matters. See, the person you're getting married to, you see, I keep saying this. Marriage brings out a whole lot. A whole lot. Maturity will be tested. Your kindness will be tested. Your everything, every quality, every virtue will be tested by marriage. That is why it's important you look out for those things first in a potential partner. Look for character. Character is priceless. We cannot explain it. You don't want to get married to somebody and the person becomes the basis for all your problems in life. Because you are associated with this person, there are certain places you cannot enter because if they identify you as his wife or as her husband, then wahala. So you have to start watching your back all the time because of your spouse. And then there's this lesson from scripture that, I wish people would pay attention to. It's the story of Daniel. The Bible says that, Daniel was a prayerful guy. And then, okay, a question just dropped again. I'll talk to it in a bit. Daniel was a prayerful guy, and then some haters went to instigate the king to say, nobody should pray to any other god. Let them only pray to you, the king. Because they were targeting Daniel. Evil people, bad people everywhere. To cut long story short, they cut Daniel, put him in the lion's den, but God delivered him. The lions didn't consume him, and he was a friend of the king, So when the king saw that God had saved Daniel, the king had to punish those people who tried to set him up. And the Bible says that the king sent his soldiers, right, to go and round up those men, their wives, and their children. Can you just imagine? Innocent women and children that had no idea what their useless husbands were doing throughout the day. Now it's time for punishment. And the king said, I rounded up all of them, those useless men, their wives, and their children. And all of them went to feed the lions. So can you just imagine what kind of consequences will be coming to your life because of the person you are choosing to get married to? That is why you pay more attention to spiritual matters. You pay more attention to character. You pay more attention to values and patterns in those people's lives. Not just to the yori things and the beautiful looking things. No, not just that. Okay, let me talk to these questions before our time is up. Someone says, is it right for a lady to contribute financially for a marriage or wedding? Oh yes, it's very, very right. It is very right for a lady to contribute. It's her wedding, all right? Different customs or traditions, have different applications to wedding preparations, right? There are some that will say, okay, the lady's family takes care of child, the man's family takes care of white, or the man's family takes care of child, the lady's family takes care of white. Their families will have some of these things shared. But the point is, the wedding is for you and your husband, your guy, yeah? So, one person shouldn't bear the burden. No, you guys should share it. You should contribute. All right? It's the same way you're going to be contributing to matters of the home. Because both of you are going to run the home together. You're not going to leave the burden to one person. All right? So, since you're going to run the home together and the wedding is a union between both of you, you are becoming one. You're no more boyfriend and girlfriend. You're becoming one. Two of you are becoming an item. That's the real becoming an item. All right? Then you should share the bills together. It is completely in order. If the man is so blessed that he can handle it without you contributing a dime, then that's excellent. I mean, that's beautiful. Ladies should always be spoiled. Ladies should be taken care of. Dr. Mike Murdoch says the purpose of money is to spend it on ladies and give them beautiful moments and beautiful experiences. Do you understand? But you are able to do that. Please, both of you contribute for the wedding. It's your wedding. All right. Some people say the romance in marriage is a fantasy and it does not last. Is that really true? Or can someone intentionally do things to sustain romance and attraction in the marriage? Listen to me and listen to me clear. Romance in marriage is not fantasy. It depends on the kind of romance you're thinking about. Yes, there are things that you can intentionally do to ensure that your home has a spark daily. And I mean daily. There are things you can do, and I can suggest just a few very quickly before our time is up. There's certain things you can do. You can agree upon. You can take as a rule to yourself, to extend towards your partner, whoever it is. You can insist that every day before any of you leaves the house, you must share a kiss, you must share a peck. You must do the same thing also when they return from work. You can make it a thing that every Friday there must be a special thing happening in the house. You guys are either hanging out or you're buying each other a gift or you're eating out that evening or you're doing movie night at home. You guys can be deliberate. I mean, it is very doable. You can make it a thing to always drop yourselves hot, raunchy messages, sexy messages, things that will bust your head. You can do that. You can make it a thing to do that. While you're at work, you drop one message that Baba will see it and smile. Guy will smile and he will reply you I will show you. So I will show you something when I catch you at home. Do you understand? Send yourself some kind of messages. Come on, you can do that. There's so many things that you guys can do to keep your marriage hot. All right, so please, don't let people deceive you that in marriage romance disappears. No, that is where it actually comes out. That's where all the creativity comes out. That's where all the fun. I mean, you guys do some crazy things for yourselves. You guys do some stupid things. You guys can even do balloon fight or balloon game where you're just playing balloon like tennis back and forth. You'll be surprised the fun you will derive from those kind of little things. Yeah, you'll be surprised. So yes, there's so many things you guys can do to make your marriage spicy. I'm enjoying my marriage and it is happening by default. It's on auto run. So yes, marriages can be beautiful. Buku is asking what questions you should ask in a relationship. Buku, what I would say to this one, right, I would just refer you to the sessions we had in the month of, I think that was April. Okay, we talked about a lot of questions that you should ask about. We started with spirituality matters, about the person's faith, what they believe in. You can also find out about their values, find out about their goals, their plans, their ambition. What do they think about success? Where are they headed to? What are their plans for life? You also want to at some point find out about their medical history per se. There are basic things you want to know about them medically, like the most popular is the, what do you call that thing? That AAS thing. What's that thing called again? Genotype. You want to be sure that both of you have genotypes that can work. You also want to know about previous relationship. What baggage are you carrying? Do you have a child? Do you have children? Have you married before? Have you removed your womb before? Have you done abortion before? How far will you, if we marry, you go feel born? You understand? Do you have debts? Are you owing a lot of people in your life? Do you understand? You want to find out all of those things. So there are financial questions. There's so many of those questions. We treated them in detail. Please just go on our YouTube and search for questions or important conversations to have in a relationship, and you'll see all of those points popping out. All right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yes, Adik Bami says marriage is patience. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah, you believe qualities like being kind, thoughtful. What is he kind? Is he thoughtful? What is driving him? Does he respect and live by the word? Exactly. Are you guys friends? Exactly. I should add to the list. Okay, thank God I already have. Okay. But we've talked about this before, and for people those of you who miss our sessions, please try to always go on our YouTube, Single and Ready Club. All right, that's the name of the YouTube handle, and you'll see all of our sessions uploaded there from when we started. All right, so please, you can always catch up with that. Yeah, oh, finally, I think my questions are here. Oh. Let me take one from the questions. I don't know why it was so slow, but it just dropped. Okay, someone says, thank you for the sessions on narcissism and abuse. It's really been an eye-opener for me. I can see clearly that my relationship of about 2.5 years has been abusive, and I'm finally ready to set myself free. Congratulations on that. Please, what steps can you take? Okay, so there are some basic things to know about getting out of an abusive relationship. First, I'll say is get knowledge. All right, start reading, start learning, start watching videos on YouTube. Get knowledge. Knowledge is empowerment, okay? Get knowledge about the kind of things that you're going through. If you're able to profile your partner, maybe from the sessions we've spoken about narcissism and stuff like that, you've seen that this person is a narcissist, okay? Learn about narcissists and who they are and how to deal with them, because you might just discover that, from the knowledge you're acquiring, you now know how better to relate with these people, or how not to trigger them, or how to cut out. Okay, so basically get information, get knowledge. Secondly, and most importantly for now, I would say get a counselor to speak to. All right, get a counselor to speak to. You have to speak to someone, get a therapist, a licensed person, a professional, not people that used to give good advice generally, not necessarily your pastor, not all pastors are counselors. Okay, get people who are professional counselors so that they can help you. Yeah, so that way the person will be able to walk you through a customized solution. Now, I'm saying customized solution because I don't know the detail of the abuse you're speaking about. All right, but when you speak with a counselor, they'll be able to ask you a lot more questions that will be more revealing, and then they can guide you in what exactly you need to do to get out. Okay, don't forget you should always seek support. If it's the kind of abuse that involves physical abuse or emotional abuse or threat to life or threat to safety for yourself and other people around you, then you have to report that matter as a matter of policy. You have to report that matter to the authorities, to the police authorities, so that they can do their job and you save your life, you save the lives of other people around you. Okay. Don't forget, last week I said you should also learn how to document the abuse events in your life. Learn how to document it, write about it, take pictures, take videos where necessary, record. Maybe you're having conversations and he's saying all of those terrible things. Pick your phone and press the record button. It's important to document these things so that when you have to make a report, you can back up your report with proofs. Okay. So I think those are just some things that I can say for now. But most important of them all is get a counselor to speak to so that you can get a more customized recommendation for the nature of abuse you're experiencing in your relationship. All right. Let me see. There are a few comments. Someone says, Adibami says God must be the center of your relationship. So true. So true. Maybe one day I'll speak about that because sometimes these things sound like, okay, God will be the center of a successful marriage. Yes. Sometimes these things sound like spiritual talk and people are wondering, how do you carry God and put in the center? Maybe one day I'll talk about it. Okay. So people can learn that. Nifemi, you're welcome, even though we are already done. I think it's 10 o'clock now. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. Even though the network delayed us at the beginning, so it's not like we really started at 9. So let me push it a little bit. Let me push it a little bit more, just a little bit. Yeah, he says marriage is patience. Yeah, that's true. All right, so let me take one more question and then that'll be all. So the question I'm looking at now, this one says, okay, it's about that one I was talking about before, about abuse. This person says, my girlfriend is very abusive. These things you teach about abusive men, I find in my case that it's my girlfriend who's the abuser. But I can't imagine my life without her, and I really love her so much. How can I help her? Okay, the first way you can help her is by helping yourself. And the way you can help yourself is to love yourself some more. And you love yourself more by getting help for yourself. You're in an abusive relationship and you're saying you're in love. You don't know what you're saying. Okay, you don't know what you're saying. You don't even know what love is because that is not love. What is doing you is not love. It's some kind of emotional attachment. Perhaps it's codependency. Perhaps it's infatuation or lust, but it's definitely not love. Okay, so leave her. Don't help her. Help yourself, right? Get training. Maybe you should reach out to me personally. Let's talk about this some more. I tell people when you're in an abusive relationship, one of the things that you should not tell yourself is that let me try and change her or let me try and change him. You are not a changer. You cannot do that. It's not your work. That's the work of the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit itself will work on people who also want to change. If people don't want to change, there's no amount of Holy Spirit you put on them. They are not changing. Because the Spirit of God, the Spirit of God does not possess people as far, just take over you. You don't know what you're doing anymore. You just say, something just... No, he doesn't do that to people. No. He allows you to yield yourself, all right? And he inspires you, he influences you by giving you suggestions and ideas and tells you what to do, but you have to do that by yourself because the human is a free moral agent and God respects that power of choice. Okay, so please, what you should do, Oga, is not to love yourself to death or to love yourself to a destroyed self-esteem. Rather, walk away from that relationship first and then go and get learning. Listen to some of the messages I've been putting out there on YouTube. All right, listen to those messages so that you see how to improve your own personal capacity and you won't be attracted to people who are abusive to you. Okay, so that's what I would say. It's not her who needs help right now. It's you who should help her. Help her by helping yourself, by loving yourself enough to get out of that relationship, build capacity, learn more, improve your self-esteem, learn what love truly is, so that by the next time you're getting into a relationship, from the beginning, you would know whether this one should even be gotten into at all or whether it should not. Okay, because that's what I keep saying to people. Many of the relationships you see people in, they had no business being there. My next book that should be coming out very soon, typically should have come out at the end of this month, but for a few delays, it's on wrong reasons people get married. It's a beautiful book. I can't wait to start talking about it. You know, don't get married to an abusive partner. If you have noticed the person is abusive in the relationship, there are no chances it will get better in marriage. So please, first things first, save yourself by leaving that relationship, learning, healing, and then trusting God to lead you to the right one. Let me take a few comments. Someone say just carry him and put for center. All right, yeah, Degbami says you're right. Yeah, please walk away from that relationship immediately. Exactly, yeah. Violence is not proof of love at all. We spoke about this in the course of the past weeks. Violence is not love. Some people believe that if he loves you, he should hit you. If she loves you, she should quarrel with you and then not make up later. Oh, you don't even know what you're doing. That thing is not love, or it's confusion. Okay, yeah, Bukun says love is a decision. Exactly. You take it when your head is in correct space. Exactly. I like this kind of talk. Okay. Ame, is this a question? Let me see. Lady, be submissive to your husband. But these days, reverse is the case. Some ladies will say you are too controlling, that they are not robots or they are not your housemaid. Matters are rising. This will be the final thing I'll speak to. Sorry, before I close. Sorry, guys, if it's extending a bit beyond the time. Okay, I'll do an extensive talk about love and submission. Okay, so let me not get into much of the things now. But what I will say is, people really need to take marriage counseling and marriage coaching seriously. You know, there was a month we spoke about the underrated necessity, and it was about the need for premarital coaching, you know, marriage counseling. People really need to get trained, because what happens is when they get married, a lot of their insecurities, a lot of their immaturities start coming out. Men trying to prove that they are the men in the house, and then not knowing how to talk to their wives, and they start trying to exert authority by being commanding and dishing out instructions as though they're talking to a maid. You know, men who are married to ladies who are enlightened and empowered, and they are trying to treat them like their mothers who were not that enlightened and not that empowered. You see, so there are lots of dynamics to it, and people don't know that times have really changed, and then they just take out all their immaturities and insecurities, you know, in the relationship. So that's what's happening these days, Mr. Ame. All right, but I'll do some more extensive talk about this point later. All right, so that I don't overshoot the time. All right, but I like this point you made, and I've taken note of it. I'll talk about it later. Okay, by the way, Gen Z really also has a weird idea of submission, Sha. I must admit to that one. But we'll talk about it later. All right, so I must say sometimes it's actually not easy to break up, but I think prayer can also help people break up from wrong relationship. Yes, I agree that it's not easy, because, you know, relationships involve a lot of emotions. And unfortunately, these days, a lot of relationships are also sexual, you know, so that already deepens the emotional connection, and they think it is real love, but they don't know it is their hormones that are now speaking. Okay, because with every sexual act, more oxytocin is released. That's what gives the feeling of fondliness and bonding and excitement, that, oh, this person, I need you in my life. You know, it's a lie. It's not. You don't need the person. You know, your hormones are confusing you. So yes, relationships become difficult to break, but if you are willing to apply your heart to instruction, if you're willing to listen and learn, you would see what you'll be able to put the right things in perspective and take the right decisions when it matters. And yes, of course, prayers can also help you. All right. One day I'll talk about why it looks like I don't talk a lot about spiritual things per se, as per prayer and deliverance and all those things. One day I'll speak to those things. All right. Okay, but I'll need to stop now. It's very surprising when we go to school to study and do well in our careers, and then we don't want to get educated and have good marriage. My dear, I like this point you just made. In fact, one Pepsi for you. Yeah, it's true. You spend time to educate yourself and every other thing on your career and all that stuff. But you don't think it's important to learn about marriage, but you want a good one. How is that going to happen? Okay, so thank you for that point, because it's one of the reasons why we emphasize people should subscribe to premarital learning. All right, that will be all for now. Thank you guys for the engagement. Thank you for the time. I believe you've had a good time. All right, please do well to follow us, share these sessions, reach out for personal sessions, counseling and coaching. Visit our website, buy our books, patronize our products. I have this book, Relationship Red Flags. It's a small book, but it has a lot to say about red flags to avoid and to look out for in a relationship. All right, so thank you all for the love. Thank you for your time. God bless you guys.